D2 Word Life here with Riptides, and today we are reviewing his favorite TNA event of
No.
all time.
And the fuck no. This is D2's favorite fucking pay-per-view review for fucking TNA because he's the one that picked it.
No. We already did my favorite TNA event. That was Bound for Glory of 2010.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah. This event fucking sucked. And if you don't know what event we're talking about, obviously you do know because I got the picture up right now. We are talking about Victory Road 2011, that with the main event perhaps being the worst match in not only TNA history, but maybe pro wrestling history as a whole. And we'll get to how crap that match is when we get to the end. So, yeah, strap in. This is going to be, well, I don't know, it's going to be a long one, but it's going to be an interesting one. That's for damn sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this event took place on March 13th, 2011, in Orlando, Florida, at the Impact Zone, with an attendance of 1,100 or 1,100 people, who probably regretted going to this event after the fact. Am I right?
Most likely.
And the commentators for this event were Mike Tenay and Taz, and the ring announcer was Jeremy Borash here. And you know, we saw the opening package of this pay-per-view, pretty much hyping the major storylines in this, mostly focused on the main event, which will be disappointing. We'll discuss that later. And everything in between, with Fortune taking control, which I believe was Hogan's group at this point. Or whatever the storyline
Hogan was Immortal. Fortune was AJ.
Yeah, Fortune was Flair group. Immortal was Hogan's group.
Yes.
But anyway, we get on to our first match, which was originally supposed to be a one-on-one match between Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer, but Bully Ray came out first, got a freaking a heelish promo, and then Dreamer came out, and Bully Ray was like, "Well, this match is now a no disqualification, falls count anywhere. How you feel about that?" And then the match was underway, right?
Yes.
So obviously, I'm not going to go through all of them, but a spot that stood out near the beginning of the match was when freaking goddamn Tommy Dreamer nailed Bully Ray with a stuffed minion from the crowd.
Yes.
I thought I would never ever say that in any of these reviews. Oh, and you think that's wild? Just wait till later on. A little bit later. Oh yeah, and then Taz on commentary didn't even know what a minion was. He was like, "What is that, SpongeBob?" And I was just sitting there face palming the whole damn time when I heard that.
Uh-huh.
And of course, another spot, freaking Dreamer was still in control here, including nailing a kendo stick off the freaking head of Ray, knocking him down. Right?
Yeah.
But then we get to your favorite part of the match, and I guess you can tell them this specific weird-ass spot that we've never seen before.
Well, when Tommy Dreamer grabbed a sex doll from underneath the ring, literally hit Bully Ray with it, and then threw it at him, and then he landed backwards. No, forwards.
So basically,
in 69 year sex doll.
Yes. And I'm just like, huh? It was about that time I'm like, what the fuck am I even watching at this point? What kind of shit is this? Right? And of course, at one point, Dreamer did get the freaking DDT for a 2 count, but then Dreamer fought back, and well, your boy Dominic Mysterio made an appearance when he got smashed off the head of freaking Dreamer, or should we say the trash can, right?
Yeah.
And of course, near the end of the match, Bully Ray was in control with when he kept nailing freaking Dreamer with a freaking kendo stick, only for Devon's sons to come out and distract Bully Ray enough time to freaking give Devon enough time to get into the ring, because this was back when Devon and Ray split up and were feuding with each other. And as soon as freaking Bully Ray turned around, freaking Dreamer and Devon both hit Ray with a 3D through a table.
Yes.
And that's how Tommy Dreamer got the 3 count and won this opening contest. Anyway, your thoughts on this one? I know I didn't go through it spot for spot, but what's your thoughts on this one?
It was interesting. It was funny to see Bully Ray get hit with a minion and then get fucking sexualized by a sex doll.
Jesus. Okay. Using a freaking minion.
Hey, Dustin.
What?
Hey, that gives a new meaning to head.
The only thing that would have been more ironic if Bully Ray was facing freaking Al Snow and not Tommy Dreamer and that spot happened.
Yes, but it gives a whole nother definition to giving head.
Yeah, anyway, as an opening match, I thought it was okay for what it was. It wasn't the most violent of hardcore matches. I've seen more violent matches than this, but
Bully Ray proceeded to elbow drop the sex doll.
I mean, but it was entertaining for what it was, so yeah, that's what counts. It was entertaining for what it was. I thought it was a unique way to open up the show, but yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't consider this an up for the show, but it was kind of like meh, like a little bit of an up, but yeah, it might as well just be a good match compared to most of this card, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, did they do I think they did a backstage segment at this point. Wasn't it the? I don't remember. If there was a backstage interview after this one. I think it was Winter and the Beautiful People getting freaking interviewed in the back talking about their tag team title match defense.
Yes.
That was, but freaking speaking of that, their next match was for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. It was Angelina Love and Winter defending against Rosita and Sarita. As we all know, Rosita,
AKA Katie Lee Burchell and Rosita, who is now known as Selena Vega in WWE.
Yep. Even though I knew that, I seen Rosita and Sarita's entrance coming out, and I looked at Rosita. I'm like, that looks familiar. Oh wait, I know that person. Well, I know that person from WWE, right?
You're like, this looks familiar. Oh, it's Selena Vega.
In Winter, I already knew Winter was Katie Lee Burchell in WWE prior to this TNA run.
Yes.
And
this is her run shortly after her being released late 2010, early 2011.
Yeah. And of course, when Angelina Love and Winter made their entrances, they were coming out of the Beautiful People theme that they had as a group. And once again, it's the only time you'll ever envy a middle rope.
Yes.
You can't lie about that.
And you can't lie that you envy Taz for saying, let the pigeons loose.
But yeah, this tag match, it wasn't really good, but we'll talk about it. It's like Love and Winter were on the freaking offense for the most part, including a suplex by Love on either Street or Rosita. I really don't remember. right? Who
It was
the legal one?
Serena that was first, and then she would tag in her cousin Rosita, and then they would be still on the offense, dominating both of them
Yep.
until the end.
And there was an impressive Northern Lights suplex pin by a freaking winner that got her 2 count. You gotta take my
Yes.
because women's wrestling back then in both companies weren't really the best. Right?
Yep.
And of course, Rosita and Serena freaking tried to fight back and do a double team on Winter, but obviously that ended up failing. Right? So Winter got back in control. I think that's when she did the hot tag to Love here. Right?
Yep.
And Angelina Love nailed a jawbreaker pin maneuver. Maneuver that got broken up at count of 2. Right?
Yes.
Which I thought looked impressive. I'm like, okay. But then, here's where things got really messy. It was shortly after the near fall, or Angelina Love's pin attempt getting broken up. It's like 2 of them were brawling on the outside. The referee was distracted, and I think it was freaking Rosita that had the chip, or Selena Vega, whatever you want to call it, that had one of the title belts and kept hesitating. I think one of them missed their cue to get in the ring to prevent it. Right? And then there was a couple of roll-up exchanges, and after about 10 seconds, Serena got the 3. 10 seconds, Serena got the 3 count because the referee took about 10 seconds or 11 years to get back in the ring to make that 3 count.
It was Rosita, not Serena.
Well, Rosita got the 3 count, or Selena Vega got the 3 count. I don't care. Same person, but either way, the referee took like 50,000 years to get back into the ring.
Yes.
And in that time, you would think, okay, Winner's going to kick out. Wait, no, what? That's dumb, right? And it felt like the end was just botched as hell, right?
Yes.
By the way, Serena and Rosita won the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Your thoughts on this one?
It was a good match. Well, Winter and Angelina Love would regain their title shortly after.
I mean, was this a good women's tag match for the time? Maybe, but does it hold up today? Obviously not. We've seen way better than this women's tag match, even in today's TNA, right?
Yes. Well, also, this was the start of where Winter was mind controlling Angelina Love.
Yep.
And Velvet Sky was getting worried. Because Winter had some magical power over Angelina Love going into the match.
Yeah. So for me, I thought it was passable. I didn't think it was like match of the night or a show stealer type of tag match or anything like that. All right. But it is what it was, despite the obvious botches and miscommunication at the end. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then we go on to this segment. I totally forgot they had these segments there on this show. I mean, I heard about them in other reviews. I just forgot about one of these, right? Then we go to the Orlando theme park, where we see the first of 3 awkward honeymoon segments involving Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and his family kids. Wow. And the whole
this was when Karen Jarrett divorced Kurt Angle.
Yes. And the whole time was kind of awkward because she was kind of like, this ain't a honeymoon, this is more of a family vacation. Jeff Jarrett was insisting it was a honeymoon. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ugh. And then after seeing the show, I'm like, why did we have to see this 3 times? Right?
Because Jared was freaking showing that he was stealing Karen.
Yeah. So
Hey,
Karen
it's
was
Karen being a Karen.
Karen was acting like a Karen.
Exactly.
But yeah, then we cut to an interview with Hernandez in the back, I believe. Or not Hernandez, Matt Morgan in the back. That's what it was. And then Matt Morgan was facing off against Hernandez in a first blood match. This feud came about. They were former partners turned rivals after Matt Morgan returned from a concussion injury that he had. Right? Because it was like I believe it was at the end of 2010 when Matt Morgan got that wicked chair shot to the back of his head, busting his head open, and giving him a concussion thanks to Jeff Hardy, where he was out for months. Right.
Yep.
And I still remember seeing that back then. And I'm just like, oh fuck, that looks nasty, right? But yeah. Anyway, Matt Morgan returned, started a feud with his former tag team partner Hernandez here. Strongly into the first blood match, Hernandez made his entrance first, and Matt Morgan didn't wait. He didn't even wait for the ring introduction on his way to the ring. He just spread out there and started the match rather off aggressively against Hernandez here.
Yeah.
With the freaking punching back and forth and dominating the matchup, including going to the outside and ramming freaking Hernandez head first into the steps. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, shortly after that, as we all know, another freaking highlight here. Hernandez freaking got back and got in control over Morgan here. Freaking took a kendo stick. I think he broke the end of it off to make it sharp, right? And
It
he
was
tried
a
to
broomstick.
or a broomstick, kendo stick, broomstick, whatever. Whatever, it was some kind of freaking like cane or stick object that had a sharp end at the end that he tried to freaking poke Morgan's eye out with. Right?
Yes.
Which I'm like, jeez. Yeah, and then somewhere Vince McMahon saw that spot and thought to himself, maybe one day I'll incorporate that and call it an eye for an eye match. God, that match with Rollins and Rey Mysterio was terrible. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Morgan did not get blinded in this one. Morgan came back with a side slam, putting Hernandez down, and he was in control of the matchup. And some fan, and I say that with quotes because it was probably a plant, jumped into the ring to distract the referee and the other security guards, right?
Yeah.
And then Matt Morgan freaking took a chain, freaking nailed freaking Hernandez in the head with it, busting Hernandez open, but the referee didn't see it. The referee was still distracted,
Yeah.
so Hernandez freaking took a bottle of fake blood and just sprayed it all over freaking Morgan's chest. And then the referee came back in, didn't even see Hernandez bleeding, looked at Morgan and that fake blood in his chest and rang the bell, awarding freaking Hernandez as the winner. Which I find bullshit. Right?
Well, that's how it was.
And even after the match, freaking Morgan took the referee, wiped the blood off his chest, and be like, it's fake. What the hell? You just screwed me. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on this one?
It was a decent match. Was it their best match? No. Did they have better? Yes.
Should it ended in a less friggin' hokey, cartoonish way? Yes. Right? Did I think the match was kind of crap? Yes. I mean, the first half, fine. It was your typical, like, no DQ fucking scrap. But the end of it was kind of shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of made the show go in a downward spiral.
Yeah.
But then we seen a little clip of Robbie and Cookie, your favorite freaking people from TNA,
No.
looking like they were like some kind of like gas station or whatever. Cookie was complaining, worried about Robbie E.
They
not
were at
being
a
the
food
champion, trying to
truck.
get that belt back. What?
They were at a food truck, not a gas station.
They're at where?
They were at a food truck outside the studio.
Or food truck? Well, the background looked different. Okay, shit.
It was a freaking food truck.
Well, I got gas station vibes out of it. I don't give a fuck where they were. All right.
You get a food truck and a gas station all mixed up, you fucking retard.
A food truck could have been parked at a gas station.
It wasn't even near a gas station.
Well, either way, I don't give a fuck. Their segment was freaking... wasn't really that important. It was just Robbie E saying, don't worry, he'll get the title back. Don't worry about it. God damn, we know these characters are inspired by Jersey Shore. Fucking Zack Ryder and WWE pulled that gimmick off better. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we go to the next match, which was for the X Division Championship, and it was an Ultimate X match. For the X Division Championship, it was...
Well, we had a backstage segment with Jeremy Borash interviewing Kaz, and then them interviewing Generation Me.
Or the tag team simply known as the Young Bucks today.
Yes, which was Max Buck and Jeremy Buck.
Yeah.
And Max was saying, oh, it's all going to be about Generation Max.
Because apparently this event took place on his birthday. No one really cared about that. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this is an Ultimate X match for the X Division title. It was Kazarian the champion defending against Jeremy Buck, Robbie E, and Max Buck.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and for those of you that don't know what an Ultimate X match is, even though there's probably very few of you that don't know what it is, it's pretty much climb up the structures on each side of the ring, and then climb, and then freaking hang yourself, and then go on these cables to get to the title in the middle of the ring.
Yes.
It's basically like a ladder match, but without the ladder.
Yeah.
Is the best way I could freaking put it. TNA was known for these matches. Right?
That was their whole thing.
Yeah. Shortly after the match started, Cash went for the championship and got pulled down off the freaking cables there, but then Max was going for it shortly afterwards. The title only to be taken down off the dang cable. Them freaking goddamn falls look freaking bad. Like scary.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Ultimate X can end careers, main people, or start or begin the career.
Yep. And of course, a good spot here near the beginning to the middle of the match was when Robbie E was on the freaking cable, but freaking Kaz was up there and kicked him off the cable, knocking him down, followed by a freaking leg drop. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, then Kaz took freaking Jeremy down with a clothesline, and then, freaking, Generation Me freaking did a double team moonsault onto E and Kaz on the outside. We're on the outside of the ring at this point. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that looked impressive. And then like shortly after that, another big spot I remember or wrote down was like Max was on the freaking cable. Max Buck was on the cable trying to get the championship down when he got yanked off of it from Kaz into a cutter. That looked impressive.
Yes.
And even you gotta admit that was actually that was awesome looking. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, Max's night in this match just got from bad to worse. Because I guess he tried to go, because he ended up going head first into the freaking one of the side support beams on the freaking, in the top of the turnbuckle there. That looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right? That took him out of action for a little while.
All of them went into the freaking beams.
Yes. Yeah, but then Jeremy came back, and then Kaz came back, nailed an exploder suplex on a Jeremy buck. So I'm like, okay, that looked like it hurt like a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, then freaking Robbie and Kaz are fighting on the cables, only for both of them to get yanked off of it by the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and Max and Jeremy Buck were on the freaking cables themselves, and both of them wanted to be the champion, so they started fighting on the cables, right?
Well, first Jeremy was defending his brother, and then he gets the idea, oh, I want to be champion instead, not my brother. Let's do this.
Yep. And Max like, what the hell? Stay with the plan, right? And then they just started fighting away, but in the meantime, Kaz, who found a way to get on top of the cable, just balanced there like it's a tightrope, retrieves the championship while the Bucks were fighting on the cables there, and then freaking jumps down into the ring and was declared the winner. And
no, Robbie E grabbed a ladder, was gonna climb it.
Yeah, Robbie E grabbed the ladder, tried to cheat and climb, but either way, Kaz got the title before he did.
And then Kaz used the ladder to get all the way down and won and retained his title.
Yes. Okay, that's how it ended. Okay. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was a good one. Was it the most entertaining one? No. Was there better? Yes. Did Kaz really need to retain the title? Not really.
But yeah, it is what it is. Was this the best match on the card for Victory Road 2011? Probably is by default. All right.
And I also liked how they introduced from Rancho Cucamonga, the Generation Me, and then they're like, from Anaheim, California. I'm like, yeah, two Californians versus Jersey Shore Reject.
Yep. That's basically what it was.
Well, three Californians versus a New Jersey Shore Reject.
Oh yeah, but back then in 2011, you were watching Jersey Shore all the time.
No, I was not.
I mean, hell, you were excited when you found out about Snooki's involvement at WrestleMania 27 less than a month after this event.
I know you were.
Yeah. Just like you were excited for the Michael Cole match from that show less than a month later. After this.
I know you were.
Oh, we know you were. But yeah, I thought this match was the best match on the card. The X Division title match. Right.
That's a good match.
Was it the best Ultimate X match I've seen? No, but was it the best match on this particular crappy card? Yes, by default. Right?
Yes.
Look at the other matches. Not really a very good competition for this one. Not a struggle. All right?
Yep.
And then we go and we watch more Jeff Jarrett family honeymoon awkwardness from the Orlando studios.
Yes.
Or the Orlando theme park in the Orlando studios, or wherever it was. Going into detail was just basically wash, rinse, and repeat from the last segment we seen. Right?
Yes.
So yeah, and then we see Beer Money Inc. being interviewed backstage about
by Christy
Hemme about their TNA Tag Team title match coming up here. And then we see the story going into this. It was just basically competition. it was just good friendly competition between the two teams at the start. And of course, it had to make your favorite reference into it. What was it? What was freaking Shannon Moore's little book called?
The Book of Dillygaff.
Yeah, wow, we all know that was your favorite gimmick in TNA.
What I like the punk version of Shannon Moore. Okay,
So yeah, here we got the
it was better than his MFer.
What, his Matitude follower gimmick? You mean his motherfucker gimmick?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, did you know that fans of Shannon Moore, they're called morons? Anyway. Yeah. Right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But anyway, that being said, the TNA Tag Team titles are on the line, and we have the Battle of the Battle of the Inks here, where we had Inc. taking on Beer Money Inc.
Well, it was a fresh ink, so it was before they became more badass than what they were.
And I know I said this during the freaking TNA Lockdown 2010 freaking pay-per-view review we did about a month ago or however long that was. I'm sorry, when Beer Money came out, I'm like, well, that's one of my favorite TNA theme songs I remember. Right?
I still like Inks.
Yep. Yeah, and at first the action was kind of like fast paced, right? Neil got a 2 count. Jesse Neal got a 2 count after a cross body. Moore got tagged in short time later. Got a drop kick. Scored a drop kick that got another 2 count in the match. I mean, okay, it was kind of fast paced at the start here. But then slowly, freaking Shannon Moore was in control of Storm near the James Storm near the start, right?
Yeah.
And Neil got another 2 count following a neck breaker. It was just what freaking Inc. were doing. They were playing a game of beat down opponent, try to take a pin when an opportunity presents itself, right?
Yes.
Which, yeah, that's pretty smart to do. You don't want to let those opportunities slip, I guess. All right? And including both of them working at Storm, like tagging in and out continuously, beat down, tag in. We've seen that before. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, then freaking Robert Roode got the tag in. And then freaking he and Roode and Neil were slugging it out in the ring while Roode got the advantage over Neil, following a little like slug out between the two. And then Bobby Roode managed to freaking get a spine buster on Neil for a 2 count. Right?
Yep.
I think Roode back then was known as Bobby Roode.
Yes.
And why'd they call him Robert Roode? Because that's what he was called in WWE along with Bobby Roode. It was kind of a freaking didn't know what to call him on certain times. Right? Yeah, he went by 2 names here, same person. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, a little bit later in the matchup, Shannon Moore nailed a freaking bulldog, I believe, from the freaking like top rope. And got a 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
This looked impressive. Of course, there was some miscommunication, and Jesse Neal got knocked into Shannon Moore, but either way, that did not deter the challengers here. Shannon Moore nailed a corkscrew moonsault, but Beer Money got the advantage with a double team suplex onto Moore here. Right?
Yep.
Of course, Moore, the ever scrapper he was, fought back against his larger opponents, nailed a cutter and got a 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, how's this match going to end? But I think freaking it was Storm that came in, nailed freaking Jesse Neal with a super kick. Followed with Shannon Moore getting the DWI finisher from Beer Money Inc. And Beer Money got the 3 counts.
Yes.
To retain the TNA Tag Team titles. And of course, after the matchup, when it looked as if Jesse Neal was showing respect to Beer Money Inc. for the matchup, Shannon Moore freaking took a beer bottle and freaking started swinging the beer and then spat it into Beer Money's faces.
Yes.
And everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Why the f did you do that? Right? And that's how the same.
Well, he also slapped Jesse Neal to help him toughen up.
Yeah. It's like, yep. So, your thoughts on this one?
Was it their best match? No. Did Inc. and Beer Money have better matches? Yes.
So,
But for a starting Inc., it was pretty decent.
So, yeah, I thought this was a alright match. Alright tag match. Not the best tag match I've seen, but a decent one. Right? Like you said.
Yeah.
And then backstage, we see Matt Hardy get interviewed for his match with AJ Styles. Of course, Matt Hardy had freaking Ric Flair in his corner. Because AJ Styles turned his back on the Fortune Tag Team, or Fortune Team, or got kicked out, however that went. Right?
Fortune left Ric Flair when they decided to go into business for themselves and quit Immortal.
Yep.
And then Ric Flair turned on Fortune by giving AJ a low blow and having cold-blooded Matt Hardy win their first match.
Yeah, and I just looked at this match was good, and I looked and I realized I have a lot of fucking notes here, but for this matchup, but I'm not going to go through all of them because that would just take forever. I mean that tag match is questionable for me going through my notes. But
Yeah.
But if I go through all these notes, we're just going to be sitting here talking about this matchup and see in almost its entirety. I just realized that, so I'm not going to go through all these notes. Just kind of want to make it as brief as I can, right?
Yep.
And the spot that sounds like near the start of the matchup here. Styles was able to nail a dropkick on the Matt Hardy after a side headlock spots reversed, right?
Yes.
And of course, Matt got the first 2 count of the match when he nailed Styles with a clothesline. Of course, Styles ain't gonna stay down after a 2 count, after a clothesline, I should say, unless it was given to him by JBL. That could be a different story, right?
Yes.
As we all know, right? And of course, a spot on the outside that stuck out to me that I just had to make a note was when Styles ended up going face first into the ring apron, right, from Matt Hardy.
Yep.
The ring apron, that is the hardest part of the ring. It's like smashing your head into concrete, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not that those rings are.
Because it's only board and metal.
Yep.
Very little protection.
And of course, another spot that stood out shortly after the face first to the ring apron spot. Styles did come back and he nailed the phenomenal forearm from the guardrail to Matt after Matt threw Styles over the guardrail. Right?
Well, he was throwing him to the guardrail to throw him over, but he decided, I'm going to slip right underneath.
Yeah, after Matt Hardy was yelling at the fans to move out of the way, and yeah, like you said, Styles, like Titus O'Neil years later, just slid under, right?
Yep.
And then he performed the phenomenal forearm from the guardrail to Matt on the outside. Oh yeah, and this wasn't regular Matt Hardy. This was the most dangerous Matt Hardy. The one with dreadlocks. Forgot to point that out earlier, Right? And of course, back in the ring, another spot that looked kind of nasty was when Matt nailed that German suplex onto AJ Styles right into the turnbuckle. I'm like, ow.
He didn't, Germans, he literally threw his ass into the turnbuckle.
Basically, German suplex him or threw his ass. That's basically the same thing. Either way, fucking Styles went into the turnbuckle hard. And I'm like, ow, that looked like it hurt like a lot.
Yep.
And after Matt was in control, including utilizing a double underhook submission to Styles got to the ropes. Styles got to the ropes. Matt got a 2 count following a neck breaker. Right? And while the referee was distracted, Flair ended up being a dick to AJ Styles after he just grabbed him by the balls. Right?
It was a 5-on-2.
Oh, Jesus. You just had to say that. Well, I know Taz said that on commentary.
It was the old 5-on-2 claw. The 5-on-2 claw.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, and both of them, shortly afterwards, both of them nailed each other with a double clothesline, followed by an enziguri from Styles, knocking Matt down once again. Right?
Yep.
And of course, shortly, and of course, not that too far from that, Matt Hardy was able to nail a side effect on the Styles. And do you think that was over? No, Matt only got a 2 count. Right?
Yeah, and then he tried to go for the twist of hate.
Yeah, like you said, he tried to go for the twist of hate, but freaking Styles countered it into a backslide for a 2 count of his own. Right?
Yes.
And of course, an annoyed Matt at this point, knowing he's a veteran, Matt worked with a lot of people, took a page out of freaking Hardcore Holly's book and nailed the Alabama Slam on the Styles. That only got him a 2 count. Right?
Yes.
And of course, that's when Ric Flair decided, I'm going to go up onto the earring apron. Right? So, freaking, to interfere some more and cause more damage to Styles, but Styles ended up nailing Flair with a Pele kick to knock Flair off the apron. And then Matt also ended up getting a Pele kick, too, as well, knocking him down. And then Styles went up to the top rope, nailed the spinal tap for a 3 count, and got the win.
Yep.
And then after the matchup, Styles decided to be a dick to Ric Flair's Nature Boys at the end by low blowing him. Little payback from earlier. Right? So yeah, AJ Styles is the winner. Your thoughts on this one?
It was a good match.
Yeah, was it Matt Hardy's best match? No. Was it AJ Styles' best match? Not really, but was it a serviceable match on this show? Yes. Right? Despite Ric Flair's constant interference. Right?
Yep. Well, also, Earl Hebner and Ric Flair were going at it with each other.
Yeah, when was Earl Hebner and Ric Flair not going at it with each other? Where have we seen those two argue before? Ha ha.
It was also your favorite referee, Earl Hebner.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing controversial happened with him.
Oh, I know. I mean, I know nothing controversy ever happens with, when Earl Hebner's a referee. I mean, it's not like he screwed any other wrestlers or anything like that.
Yes.
Hell, I heard he sends Christmas cards to Bret Hart to this day.
Yeah.
Anyway, following the match, we've seen the final installment of the Jeff Jarrett honeymoon awkwardness. Right? Which, Karen was complaining, wanting to leave. She didn't care about the kids having fun, and it resulted in everyone being sprayed by water. Okay, there was your big payoff for this whole thing. All right?
Yep.
And I'm just like, awkward as hell. Who needed to watch this? But hey, when they all got sprayed, I kind of chuckled a little bit. But then I was envious because I'm just like, God damn it, it's fucking hot. Right?
Yep.
So yeah, afterwards we see the vignette for the vignette hyping up the next match, which was the number one contenders match between Mr. Anderson and Rob Van Dam. And the winner of this would be the number one contender for the TNA Championship following this event, right? Presumably at Lockdown or something, you know what I mean? At least that's the story they were trying to tell. Yeah, and just like the last match, I got a lot of notes written down. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I want to go through the ones that I believe stick out the most from this matchup. After both men made their entrances here, there was like a lot of back and forth and a lot of like reversals between the two to start off this match. Right?
Yeah.
Which resulted in a couple near falls for both Van Dam and Anderson. It seemed like both of them were like on an even playing field. Like, no one held the advantage for very long. It was like back and forth at the beginning. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and after some near falls, they went back and forth again. This time with scoring a couple headlocks and head scissors from both competitors here, and a couple and more near falls. It's like none of them could hold the advantage for very long, right? And this all resulted in Van Dam eventually hitting a rolling thunder onto Anderson, right? And then Van Dam also nailed a crossbody to Anderson on the outside. But that was the start of the downfall for Van Dam's advantage because with Anderson draped on the guardrail, Van Dam went for that spinning kick to the outside to the barricade he usually would do. Only for Anderson to move out of the way, and Van Dam landed leg and ankle first on the goddamn guardrail.
Yep.
And these ain't your traditional big ass barricades. These were steel. These were the steel guardrails they were using, right?
Yes.
Which made the landing even worse, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Anderson from here on this point was in control. Was in control for most of this match following that spot, with Anderson working on Van Dam's weakened leg to try to weaken Van Dam up some more, including Anderson applying the half Boston grab, right?
Yeah, I liked how they're like, he's doing Lance Storm.
Yes. Which Van Dam eventually, I believe, got to the ropes, but Anderson was able to nail a backdrop suplex on Van Dam, followed by a neck breaker for a 2 count, right?
Yes.
And of course, Van Dam started to fight back, and both men nailed each other with a double clothesline. And at this point, both of them were wore out. And then both of them nailed each other with a double headbutt, knocking them both out. Now, I don't know if that was accidental or not, but it made it look accidental, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then freaking Van Dam nailed a crossbody to the outside onto Anderson. And then these two were fighting on the outside of the ring where Anderson nailed Van Dam with a mic check. And at this point, both of them were wore out. The referee was counting, and right before Anderson was even able to climb to the ring, the referee counted to 10. Thus making this match in a double count out. And
Also, don't forget the leapfrog that made Anderson hit RVD in the nuts.
Oh yeah, I remember that spot. I just didn't jot it down.
And he's literally said, "I did that on purpose."
Oh yeah, and
he's like, "I meant to do that."
Yes, and I also remember a spot near the beginning of the match where those two were going back and forth. I think it was during that particular time when Anderson got the advantage in the corner, and he just kept pummeling Van Dam, and he yelled, "I'm an asshole!" You know what I'm saying? Yes. But that was like during the back and forth sequence. That's why I didn't kind of mention it. Right then. But your thoughts on this match, despite it being a double count out, because to me the double count out just kind of ruined it for me.
It was good. Did they get their run back on the Thursday? Yes, they did.
I don't even remember the outcome. I don't even remember who the hell was fighting in the world title match at Lockdown 2011. Do I care to research it? Not really. All right.
It was Mr. Anderson. He turned on everyone to join Immortal.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know what? The RVD Anderson match, even though it ended in a double countout, might as well have been the greatest match of all time on this show, despite that, compared to what we're about to talk about.
Oh, God.
And I don't want to talk about it, but my contract says I friggin' have to, especially when I'm the one who picked this shit. Right?
Yes. You're the one that picked this garbage.
No. This next match,
Well, I can't say it was garbage. It was better than freaking King of the Ring.
That's debatable. But
you didn't lose brain cells.
Okay, the next match I'm about to talk about, the next match we're about to talk about, and the last match on this card is a good example of why you shouldn't let certain superstars compete in certain states of mind. Now, the main event for this one, they did the hype package for it, and this was at the time where Sting was gone following Bound for Glory. Right? And it was
This was technically when Sting first retired.
Well, technically, Sting left TNA after Bound for Glory because he was having his contract with TNA at that time, as we know, was coming up. He was having contract disputes with Vince McMahon to join the WWE. Even Vince McMahon promised Sting a WrestleMania 27 match with The Undertaker, which you and I both know that would have been a badass match, right?
Yeah, it would have been the last bastions of the era. Freaking Undertaker
versus
the
Sting.
Freaking Dead Man versus the Last Outlaw Sting.
And that was a match everyone wanted. At the time, the only thing that they needed was Sting to sign for WWE. What did Sting ultimately do instead? He decided to just re-sign with TNA instead. And Sting even said himself that he was really close to signing with the rival promotion at this point, but he didn't do it. So he returned to TNA literally 10 days before this event. His first appearance in TNA since Bound for Glory 2010. He came back as a mystery opponent for Jeff Hardy in a TNA Championship match on Impact, which Sting won to win the TNA Championship once again. This was Jeff Hardy's rematch for the freaking TNA Championship. Here in the main event at Victory Road 2011. And you know, a TNA Championship match between Sting and Jeff Hardy, especially a rematch, sounds good on paper. You notice I'm talking to Brie Long what we're about to talk about.
Yes.
But yeah, they did that. They explained that in the whole main event vignette. And now we get to talk about this match, which I feel we're gonna be talking about this match a lot longer than it was actually aired. Longer than the match itself. Right? So we go back to the ring after watching the whole hype video for this. Jeff Hardy's music started playing. Jeff Hardy didn't come out at all. It took Jeff Hardy approximately 11 years to start making his way to the ring. And you could tell at first glance something is wrong here, right? Because Jeff Hardy was freaking moving hella fucking slow. You can tell he was kind of dilated in his freaking eyes with the face paint here. Yeah,
he was sluggish.
And he was sluggish as hell here coming out to the ring. In other words, Jeff Hardy was higher than Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg, Van Damme, and Matt Riddle combined. On whatever drugs he was taking in the back before this match. And it fucking hit him bad. Right?
Yes.
And of course, Sting made his entrance looking annoyed as fuck during the introductions by the ring announcer. Because I bet even Sting could tell something was seriously wrong here with his opponent, right?
Yes.
And then right when the match was about to start, Eric Bischoff came out and, cut a promo talking about how he's announcing this match as a no DQ to make it a level playing field. Sorry, in order for this to be a level playing field, Sting would have to take a fuck ton of pills. I hate to say that, but it's true. In reality, what he was doing was buying time to go up to Jeff Hardy and to Sting and tell him, new finish, end it quick, right? That's what he was doing. So yeah, Sting attacked Bischoff after Bischoff's little promo, so the fans could actually cheer about Eric Bischoff getting his ass kicked for a little bit.
Yes.
And then Jeff Hardy walked around the ring, teasing that he was going to throw his shirt out to the crowd, which that didn't even happen. Sting kind of roughed him. Sting got annoyed as fuck, decided, fuck this. Freaking roughed Jeff Hardy up in the corner somewhat. And then proceeded to nail a Scorpion Death Drop on Hardy and pin Hardy down with a hard pin for a 3 count. So yeah, Sting retains the championship here. And after the match, the fans chant bullshit. Sting even yelled out to a fan, I agree. I'm sorry. I'll give you my opinion right now. This was the absolute worst match in TNA history. Hell, this match was worse than the fucking Mabel versus Savia Vega in the 95 tournament finals.
Yes.
I'll go as far as to say that. This match made the 1995 King of the Ring tournament final look like a 5-star classic. And I don't even have to ask you your thoughts about this, because I already know the answer to it. But just for shits and giggles, what's your thoughts on this main event, buddy, if you can even call it that?
Shite. Utter garbage.
Yes.
All fuck's gone.
Yes. I mean, this was an embarrassment to TNA.
All it was literally, get in corner, pump up chest, get another corner, pump out chest, slug fist fight, whatever. Scorpion Death Drop. 1, 2, 3. After kicking Bischoff in the nuts.
It's funny. You just recited the entire match in less time than it took for the match to air. So, yeah, this was not only the worst match in TNA history, it was the worst match in Jeff Hardy's career, it was the worst match in Sting's career, and this was probably the worst match in pro wrestling history, period. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad to see that Jeff Hardy's addictions got that fucking bad. And it really showed on this night.
It wasn't just that he was also injured, so they gave him some drugs, some painkillers, knowing his problem.
Yeah.
And then let him go out and wrestle.
Like that. I mean, he was so damn slow getting in the ring, a sloth would be faster than him getting to the ring.
Yes.
Like, that was shit. Right?
Yes.
God. So now that we're done ranting about that, yes, it's good to see that Jeff Hardy, since the end of the last fucking 14 years, have cleaned up his act, and we haven't seen an incident like that again. It's still sad to see. Right?
Yep.
So now we go to our favorite, what I call our favorite part of the review, and that's our rating system here. Tommy Dreamer defeating Bully Ray in that Falls Count Anywhere match. I gave that one 3.5 out of 5.
4.
Sarita and Rosita defeating Angelina Love and Winter to win the Knockouts Women's Tag Team titles. I gave that one 2 out of 5.
2.5. Well, no, 3.
Hernandez defeating Matt Morgan in that first blood match. I gave it only 1.5 out of 5. The ending really kind of bullshitted me.
2.5.
Kazarian defeating Jeremy Buck, Max Buck, and Robbie E in that Ultimate X match to retain the X Division Championship. I gave that one 3 3/4 out of 5.
Just a straight 3.
It's like Beer Money Inc. defeating Ink Inc. to retain the TNA Tag Team Championships. I gave that one 3.5 out of 5.
4.
AJ Styles defeating Matt Hardy. I gave that one 3.5 out of 5 as well.
You gave it a what? You cut out for a second.
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So what do you give the Matt Hardy Styles match?
4.5.
4.5? RVD and Mr. Anderson both battling to a double count out. I'm sorry, but because of the finish, despite the in-ring action being good, I had to give it 2 out of 5.
3.5.
Yep. And my rating for this one: Sting defeating Jeff Hardy to retain the TNA Championship. I gave it a new rated system, the only match in history that I reviewed so far to have this rating. -1 billion. That's it.
Negative infinity.
That's it. That's all it gets. It was that bad. -1 billion. Negative infinity. Yeah, don't waste your time watching this. So my final grade for Victory Road 2011 is obviously an F.
D-.
You're being generous with that one. Why would you say
Yes.
D-?
It had some notable matches. Not many, but some.
But yeah, despite that, obviously, if you're going to watch anything from the show, do not watch the main event. Trust me. You do not want to see that abomination. All right? But if I had to recommend any matches for you to watch from this show, I would say either the Ultimate X 4-way match for the X Division title, or the Matt Hardy and Styles match, or if you don't mind, a double count-out finish, the Anderson-Van Dam match. Other than that, you really don't need to see anything from this show.
Yep.
So now we need to do another thing here. This Sunday, it's WWE's pay-per-view, the last pay-per-view on friggin' Peacock, apparently, Clash in Paris this Sunday. So here's what we're going to do here. At the end, we're going to give our predictions for that pay-per-view or premium live event. Just to see if we're right with these matches when they actually air, right?
Yes.
So, Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Who do you got?
Nikki.
I say Becky. Sorry, Becky Lynch is doing like the best freaking heel work on Raw right now.
I say Nikki.
Okay, give you a reason why you think Nikki's going to win it.
Well, one, Becky Lynch is running like a little bitch. 2, every time they've gone up against each other, Nikki Bella has won.
Okay, but that all streaks are made to be broken.
And 3, she's running her mouth like a little coward, saying, "Oh, you don't deserve this. You don't." Bullshit.
Mm.
If Becky Lynch is saying, good for her. Yeah, she is one of the best women today. One.
Yep.
There have been many.
Sheamus versus Rusev in that good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, which is just a fancy way of saying an Irish no disqualification match. Who you got, Rusev or Sheamus?
Sheamus. It's his match.
Yeah, I agree. But I gotta guarantee you, but yeah, you and I both know these freaking backstage segments where they get brawling with each other has been getting entertaining. Hopefully it'll be the
When
last.
was the last time that you ever saw Sheamus lose a Donnybrook match?
Never. Not that I recall. Right? So yeah, my pick for this is also Sheamus.
And Rusev is just being an asshole by picking on people smaller than him.
Yeah, and the story is Sheamus stands up to the bully and actually beats the asshole. Right? Puts him in their place. Right?
Well, Sheamus knows how it is, because he was a dick, he was an asshole, and he was a motherfucker.
Yep.
And, well, if people don't like my language, well, pardon my French, I don't give a shit. I will speak my motherfucking mind.
You never have and never will.
Well, that is true. And Sheamus knows how it is to pick on the little guy and also get retribution.
Yes.
And Sheamus has lately been putting on banger after 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 fucking banger.
Yeah.
Well, all of his matches are bangers, but especially his win at WrestleMania in 18 seconds.
18 seconds. Jesus Christ. We don't need to talk about that. We already talked about that way too much, especially when we reviewed WrestleMania 28, where it happened.
Yes.
Anyway, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. The tribal chief versus the tribal thief. Who do you got?
Even though it hurts me to say this,
Say it.
Roman.
You got it. You finally said it.
It hurts in every fiber of my soul.
Oh, quit being such a drama queen.
Don't.
But yeah, I say Roman Reigns to beat Bronson Reed here too and actually get his shoes back. Right?
And well, Bronson Reed, yes, he's a monster. But the way that he's been lately,
yep.
I just don't see it. A lot of people may say I'm being a fool or that I'm completely wrong, but
I know freaking
when before Bronson Reed was joined The Vision,
yeah,
which is a cringy ass fucking faction. I hate to say this as well, but the Bloodline was better than this.
Do you acknowledge Roman Reigns? You will.
No.
You will eventually. But anyway, I
acknowledge
I say Roman Reigns is going to win this one simply because the story needs to get his dang shoes back in. Well, Roman's been beaten down minus the last couple of weeks on Raw lately, so makes sense.
Well, he's actually gotten revenge for the past couple of weeks. He literally fucking dog walked
well, I said
Braun
with the
Breaker.
exception of the last couple of weeks. in the weeks prior to the last 2 weeks, he's been getting beaten down when he shows up.
Yeah, like I said, he literally dog walked freaking Braun Breaker.
No. And now, just like you, no offense to Bronson Reed, yes, he is a big, strong guy. He's a monster. I think in the future he'll be a big freaking threat in the mid card to upper freaking card scene. But with his,
well, he could be a main eventer. He really could. He's been there.
But his inclusion with the Vision, I feel, or Seth Rollins' group, is I feel like, despite his tribal thief gimmick, I feel like when it comes to major matches, he's just there to be the fall guy, while Braun Breaker is going to be protected as the next big main event star. That's just the way I feel. I could be totally wrong on that assessment in the future. Who knows? That's just the way I feel right now about it.
If he leaves the Vision, because he doesn't need it. He really doesn't.
Well, Seth Rollins doesn't really need a faction anyway because he's a main eventer in his own right. But, a heel champion has to have some kind of group of goonies to get beaten up so he doesn't have to.
Fuck Rollins.
I mean, the heel faction worked with Triple H. It worked with freaking Roman Reigns. And I don't know how well it's going to work with Rollins, but so far it's been kind of all right, I guess.
Yes. Rollins is not a Triple H. Rollins is not a Roman Reigns.
I mean, hell, even AEW tried a heel faction with John Moxley, and that kind of went to shit after a while.
Well, it failed after William Regal left.
Yep.
But still, John Moxley was more of a heel leader than Rollins ever was.
Yeah.
Because look at Rollins' track record with fucking his when he had his disciple
Buddy Murphy?
Yes, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
Look where that group went, downhill.
And what happened after his little partnership with Buddy Murphy ended? Rollins benefited more as a solo act, like he usually does. As we know. Am I right?
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, moving on to the next match, because there's 5 matches on the card. We're on match number 4. This one I feel like I probably shouldn't even ask you because I already know the answer, but just to make the prediction official, John Cena versus Logan Paul. John Cena. No explanation needed, just John Cena, right?
Yeah, Logan Paul thinks he's hot shit because he's had 23 matches in his career. Yet Cena has had 23 years of wrestling. Yes. That's over 1,000 matches.
And obviously, I think they're going to give Cena a win over Logan Paul. Obviously. Well, any match involving Logan Paul, we always go for his opponent, so that's self-explanatory. Of how much we don't like Logan Paul.
He can shove his prime balls up his ass.
Even though I make jokes about you saying you're a Logan Paul fan, I know for a fact you're not. Those are just jokes. And of course, the main event being the fatal 4-way for the world title. Rollins defending against CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Who do you got?
Jay.
Give a specific reason.
Jay, Punk, or Knight. I have 3.
You're going for one of the 3 challengers.
Yes.
Yeah, and we all know this came about after Rollins fooled everyone about he was injured and took the title off of Punk moments after he won it, or minutes after he won it.
Yes.
Right? So
he faked a serious injury, saying that he was injured and he'd be out for a while, yet he comes back at SummerSlam and literally screws CM Punk because he's like, oh, I'll be back when you least expect it. And even if you...
You cut out there for a second. What'd you say? You cut out for a second.
I said that he came back. He faked a serious injury, saying he was extremely injured. He was really injured.
Yeah.
Not.
Mm-hmm.
And then freaking comes out at the end of SummerSlam after Punk is freaking beaten and battered.
Yep.
Fucking defense could not fucking muster strength, even though he tried. And trust me, he did try. He freaking bashes him in the head not once, not twice, but 3 times with the freaking briefcase.
And took the world title that way. We all know how it happened. I hate to say this, and I know you are going to strongly disagree with me, and that's all right. We can all just agree to disagree. We're just fans here. I honestly think Seth Rollins is going to find a way to retain here. Probably through interference from Reed and Breaker.
Yes.
And despite what our friend in our little group chat said, if that happens, it's not technically cheating because there's no DQs in 4-way matches. So anyone can interfere at any time in the match and it'd be legal.
Yeah.
That and I'm under the logic that they're not going to have Rollins drop the title after about a month. They're probably going to have Rollins probably carry it until, like, say, the Rumble or WrestleMania, and more than likely WrestleMania, and that's where Rollins is probably going to lose the championship at next year's Mania. At least that's what I think. That's why I say Rollins is more than likely going to retain here. That's my prediction.
I still say that he's going to lose, and I hope it happens.
I think it's funny how on the Slam app, when it came to the little predictions card for this match, I picked freaking Rollins, you picked Jay, our friend picked Punk, and none of us in our group picked LA Knight. I'm like, wow, what's that tell you? Right? But anyway, yeah, you say one of the 3 challengers. I say the champion for the main event. So we're just gonna have to wait till Sunday to see what happens, and we'll talk about it then. At that point, so next week it's your pick for the classic pay-per-view review. Now, you can either reveal it now, or you can reveal it at the end of the Clash in Paris review this weekend. So what are you feeling? Are you gonna reveal it now, like I did prior to the last month's SummerSlam, or are you just gonna wait and wait until after Clash in Paris?
I'm going to let you all stew on my thing. Let you put the fear in you. Let you mow over as many pay-per-views as there is.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's going to reveal it at the end of the Clash in Paris show. Anyway, that's our thoughts.
Learn to hear my choices.
Yeah, anyway, that being said, that's our review and thoughts on Victory Road 2011 and our Clash in Paris predictions. So until next time, which will be Clash in Paris review either Sunday afternoon or sometime on Monday when I upload that. Until then, we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Deuces.